Okay, and Diana, if you could start with a disclaimer, that would be a wonderful idea.
So welcome everyone to the Redux for Recovery team meeting. We have a special guest today, Nelda Castillo. It's our pleasure to have her today. And we're going to be sharing about ASEA, how we share it. And also, I believe Diane has a testimonial she's going to share. And just note that even though ASEA can do a lot of amazing things, it is a dietary supplement and is not something that diagnoses, treats, or cures any medical condition. So now that if you could just start by telling us a little bit about you, like your profession, where you're located, maybe how long you've been with ASEA, and then I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions that I've mentioned to you before.
And before you start, dear Nelda, I would like to introduce you a little bit formally here. Nelda is a registered nurse for 28 years plus, and she's with ASEA for 5 years now plus, and she's a gold executive with ASEA and waiting for the platinum to diamond. Here we go. Here she is. Welcome aboard, Nelda.
Thank you so much for that kind introduction. As you know, I am from Lubbock, Texas. I've been a registered nurse, like Dr. Philippe said, over 5 years. When I stumbled across it, honestly, I just wanted to do it I was working 84 hours a week as a nurse, and I just wanted energy and endurance. Yes, 84 hours a week. It was crazy. My calendar was full, and I loved it because when I look back, when I hear, our leaders say, look at your calendar, and that's how you know if you're in momentum, if you're, how busy you really are. Is this a business or is this a hobby? But I was working 84 hours a week, and everywhere I stopped, I would share it. But it was just happening because what happened was I attended, been working 84 hours a week. I was really busy. There was a Lubbock meeting. I got off at 1 o'clock, guys, at 1 o'clock that Sunday afternoon. And there was a 3 o'clock workshop here in Lubbock. And, I thought I need to get home quickly, change and get over there. So it was a 30-minute drive home, change quickly from my scrubs into, just regular business casual, went to the meeting, sat on the front row, listened to Leland Duck. And then I thought, I could do this. So really, to me, that's where I say that my ASEA journey began. It was so exciting. It still brings tears to my eyes because if you have heard Leland Duck's story, that testimonial is so powerful. I'm sitting on the front row and I can see those tears just coming from his eyes. And I'm like, oh my goodness, just listening as a nurse. And I thought, okay, I listened. And then afterwards I went up to him and I said, Leland, I can do this. And guys, I didn't know what this was. When I said, I can do this, he said, well, we're going to have a workshop, a regional in Frisco. And I committed to attend, Diana. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. It changed the trajectory of who I am. It developed me as a leader, but I saw the monumental size of the company, the people, I would say the heart of the people. I mean, they were amazing, but not just that, the testimonials, but on the way back home, I met all these great people and they weren't saying, well, I'm, so-and-so, I'm Dr. So-and-so. No, they just acted like just normal people. We all hung out together, learned from them. But on the trip back, God convicted me and he said, why are you not sharing this? And I thought, well, I just really needed energy and endurance. That's what I wanted. But after I heard all these testimonials, you can't help but not share. And then being a nurse, I see all these people that are taking all these medications that led them to difficult issues and difficult decisions because they had a lot of side effects. So that's really what happened. And that's when I say that my ASEA journey began when Leland Duck rode into Lubbock, Texas. That changed the trajectory of my life as I know it today.
That's awesome. Wow. That's pretty funny. Yeah, he has a very strong story of just suddenly waking up one morning and not being able to function. And that was pretty scary for him because he had multiple businesses that depended on him. So what I would love to hear from you, because I'm just always amazed to hear how you share with other people. So I have a couple of things I'd love to hear from from you. One, just because some of us are working on building our businesses and we're always encouraged that consistency is really important. And I'd just love to hear about what is some of your daily routine that you do with this business that you'd like to share.
Well, I always say this, be interested in someone, be connected. The first thing I really did, I did not know about our morning call. It's important to connect to our morning call. That develops you whether you want to be developed or not. It's going to develop you because I tell people, come to that call because it's almost like reading a book every day. You're gaining knowledge every single day by what somebody else shares or your triple diamonds and your leaders. So I got connected. Once I got connected, I was just a little fly on the wall. There was only that was a 3 to 5 minute call. There was only maybe 5 people on that call. And now we have 115 people on the call. So that's how it started. But I really didn't know about that because this is so important. When you're brought on as an associate, it's important to connect with your sponsor. It's the responsibility of the sponsor to help the person get them connected. I just say onboarding is so important, Diana. How you onboard someone is important. Let them know you're there for them. They're not by themselves. It is their business. And it's up to them whether they will succeed or not, but it's in the connecting and the onboarding. So I would say for me, once I connected, then, I'd gone to a workshop, but I didn't know how to do a workshop. But this is what I did, consistent on the morning calls every day. When I'm at work, I just get my little earbud and I put it in my ear. And I just do this because I cannot miss that morning call. So that's what I do. And so sometimes it's hard. And sometimes I have to hang up and get off. But I made a commitment that I wanted to learn. And I believe we have to be hungry. We have to be coachable, hungry, and willing. At the beginning, I didn't really know I was supposed to do that as a nurse. And like Dr. Philippe is a physician, you come into the business or you bring someone in, they already have their own mindset. Dr. Philippe has his own mindset. Nelda has her own mindset. We know how to do things and we think, oh, we can do this. But guess what? Dr. Philippe didn't know how to do this. Nelda didn't know how to do this because there are tools that keep it simple. And at the beginning, I wasn't using those tools because my mind was saying, you can do this on your own. Yeah, there's some leaders out there, but I didn't really know that it was best to follow the leaders. I was listening, but it took a while for me to experience what I shouldn't be doing. And then when I told you guys I drove back from Frisco, on the drive back, I thought, wait a minute, I'm a Director 700. I had shared a little bit, but this is what happened. I was kind of stuck right there. And I thought, why am I not moving forward? It's great to be a Director 700. It's nice, but guess what? It's like being stuck in the mud. You're like, I don't want to be here. So you have to do something. If you do nothing, guess what? You're going to be stuck in the mud. If you're a Director 300, haven't moved, there's a reason for that. If you're a Director 700, you haven't moved, there's a reason for that. And there was a reason for me. First of all, open mind. So I got together with Leland. We had a come to Jesus talk. And I said, Leland, why am I not growing? Come to Jesus. He's like, okay, number one, why don't we try using the tools? See, I thought I was my own tool. And I'm not my own tool. I didn't know enough. I really thought I needed to know a lot, but you don't. You bring new people in, say, you know what? You don't have to know a whole lot. Watch, give them the tools that we have. So for me, every day looks like this. The night before, I have a notebook and I'm like, okay, what's important? What do I have to do tomorrow? I have my 30-day calendar. I have my Google calendar. I am very organized. And if you're not organized and if we're not measuring what we're doing, we don't have a business. So when I meet people, I send them a tool. When do you have time to watch a 7-minute video? And then if they say at 7 o'clock, I'll say, so if I called you by 8 o'clock tonight, would you have had time to watch the video? For sure. I set up a 3-way call. Those are the tools that Leland wanted me to use, but those were not the tools I was using. That's why I was stuck. So whoever's on the call that's not doing that, I would highly encourage you to follow your leaders because they've already paved the way for us. I was trying to pave my own way. That's why I was stuck in the mud. Okay. Director 700. So if you want to grow, connect to that morning call. I know some have to work. Get on the morning call at least 5 times. You can listen to the recordings. But you know what? Even at night, I find myself, I'm listening to a recording, I'm taking notes. So I'm a student. I'm still a student, and I pick up a lot of, tips there. And then people say, how do you know so much? Well, how do students know a lot? It's because they study. But I don't depend on Dr. Philippe to give me his knowledge, Diana to give me her knowledge. I listen, but I have to do my own homework, and I have to place my own action. If I don't take any action, my business doesn't go forward. So I take the notes, I get on the morning call, I listen, and then, I always say this is my little powerhouse right here. I do drink the energy in mind, and I tell you that because in the morning, yes, I drink my molecules, and that gets me started. But as soon as I wake up, I'm grateful to wake up, and I'm in a state of gratefulness, because that is, if you woke up, that's a reason to be grateful. That's how I start my day. Because if I wake up and do this, guess what? It goes downhill, because there's a lot of negativity. And then an hour later, you've lost an hour, even if it's before the call or after the call. So I have to be careful how much time I spend on, social media. So I would just say, have a routine, get connected. After the call, go to your list. Where's my follow-ups? Where's my 3-way calls? That's what my schedule looks like during the day. The other thing, Diana, do you want me to go on, or do you have a question? I can. Okay. So your team is important. Your team needs you, but it's their business. I work with the runners. I work with all of them, but I can tell who my runners are. And the way I can tell who those people are, I go to my dashboard. You need to be familiar with your, ASEA virtual office. I click on Director 300. I click on the dashboard. I look to see who my Director 300s are, or who is close to getting there. Because if you don't look at those numbers, you cannot help your team. You got to know where they are. Like this week, I reached out and I thought, wow, these people have the numbers, but they may not be binary qualified. You know what that means? They don't have one person on the left and one on the right. So I reach out to their, sponsor, and I'll say, look at these numbers. You need to be looking at these numbers, because if this person just gets one more associate, they can hit the Director 700 rank. So tap rooting. It's not what I do, it's what my team does. But I want to be the person that is helping my team. It's from my heart to help them, to help whoever is on my team. It doesn't matter who they are. I mean, there's some people that aren't really working the business, but other people have been coming in under them. So their numbers are propelling on the dashboard. And you go to their Director 300, you click on your associate, you click on the number of associates they have, click on that number, and then it shows you where those people are. And I mean, somebody might be 3 points from hitting the Director 700 rank that week. But if we hadn't looked at that number, because they're not looking at it, someone needs to be looking at it. And you know what? I don't mind being that person, but every leader needs to be looking at those numbers. If you want to build a business, if we don't look at those numbers, it's not going to really happen, because those people, like one lady, she's probably going to get paid almost $400 on Tuesday, and she doesn't even know it, because she's doing life, and there's a lot of people. So it's good to look to the people that you've brought in, see where they are, and go, did you know you're leaving money on the table? I mean, $400, that's a lot of money, I mean, I think it is, may not be to someone, but to me, I can easily find a place for $400. So I'm just saying, but I think that's important. But the dashboard, the tap rooting, being connected, look at your calendar. That's what I do. That's very, very important. I'm there for my team. I'm putting out fires, but I show them how to put the fire out. I am not the tool. I send them to a tool. That's important, because you can be chasing down and doing everything, but guess what? Your business is not moving forward. So teach your team to do what they need to do, empower them. That's what I would say.
I love that. It's for example, if you see somebody who could just add another associate, you talk to their sponsor so the sponsor can learn how to do it and as well as to coach them. So that's awesome. Now you'd mentioned using tools. Now, does everyone here know what we mean by tools? If anybody doesn't, let's just cover that now. I think most of you
And
experience
do
that.
not be shy, because this is where we learn. I'm still learning. I'm still a student. So everybody knows how to use the tools, and what tools are you using? Which, I use 2 basic tools. So, I mean, you can raise your hand, just kind of do a reaction, raise your hand. Anybody, like Diana is asking, does anybody have any question which tool we're talking about to keep it simple, and why do we do that?
So do you use the Real Redux results or you use Discover Redux?
I do both, but my favorite is R4R. I do that. I have some new associates that came on, and I'm onboarding, and I just said, here it is. And I just basically pull up realredoxresults.com, and then right immediately underneath, I will say, some people say you don't have to send the password. I go ahead and send it, because if they, you send it to them and they're like, I need a password, at least they're going in there. But I usually go ahead and say, the password is Redox. Please watch the 7-minute overview video and select testimonial that piques your interest. Now, I normally say I recommend testimonials number 7 and 13. That's Leland and Donna Lynn. But if there's someone else with bad sales, I may say I recommend number 13 and number 55. That's Donna Lynn and Dan Doyle. And then I go ahead and put number 7 because that's Leland. And so what happens is they're probably going to watch 7-minute video, or they may not listen and they may just start looking at all the other ones. So that's a good tool for the testimonials. I've had somebody that did that. I said, please, these are the instructions. I just kind of, please do this. And then later it's like, okay, so which video did you watch that, piqued your interest? She goes, did you watch a 7-minute video? She said, oh no, I watched all those other ones. So
yeah, because everyone has different things that they like.
Right. Yeah. And so that's a great one. So my associates, I went ahead, Diana, for them, I said, I went ahead, I want them to be sure they know about discoverredox.com. They need to know that, because that has everything in it. And if I give self-performance to someone or want to teach them, it's all there. But I also want them to watch the Genesis. So when I send discoverredox.com, I will say, please go to the, the dots on the right-hand corner, click on that, go to ASEA Global, watch the ASEA Genesis. That's what I ask them to do. And then you know what they're going to do from there. They're going to be clicking around. What is this? What is this? What is this? And that's good. So that's a good tool. But I also want them to, I like the testimonials first, because people are like, well, I have this, or my friend has this. And that's what my friend did at the beginning. When she went to all those videos, when she started looking at them, guess what she did? She was able to make her list, because she thought, oh, I watched number 7. I thought of so-and-so. I watched number 13, so-and-so. And she started reaching out to people, and her business started growing that way. So that's why I think that's a very good tool.
Cool. So how much time did you spend when you started, and maybe how much time you spend a day now, if I may ask?
Well,
when
I started, well, it's kind of funny, because probably I would say, I was working 84 hours a week, so it was funny. I would say probably at the beginning, it was, I'm going to say maybe if I was lucky, 8 hours. I'm going to say a week, because
that's good though.
Yeah, it was, but, and I love that. I love it because we're so busy. And so, my schedule, I don't have it right here in front of me, but I love it. You can have like I'll show you this one. This is just like, if you have like a 7-day schedule, I'll just show you this one. If you have like a 7-day schedule like that. Well, what I did was I put all my nursing schedule there. Every appointment I had on there, everything blue was ASEA. So I knew I was working ASEA. And anytime I stopped, let's say I stopped at a Starbucks, I'd stop for, a few minutes. I would, grab a coffee, and then I'd see this lady, she's on her laptop, and I'd say, hey, we're just visiting. I said, what are you studying today? She goes, oh, I'm a nursing student, or I'm a med student. So that opened up a conversation. So I did that. People that I would just meet on the way, if I'm picking something up, I would be meeting them, and I would just, when you're interested in people, you can open up a conversation with so many things, but be genuine. Don't be nosy. just be like, okay, so you drink this kind of water. Tell me more about that. Or your basket is full of all these vegetables. Are you into juicing? They're like, oh yeah, we're juicing. We want to lose weight. Da, 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 da. Let them share with you what's going on. And then I'll say, well, you know, I've been a nurse for 28 years. Have you guys ever heard of redox signaling molecules? No, what is it? So it would open the door. Then I'd say, I just had like 10 minutes and it's good. The less time you have, the better. Be in a hurry. So that's what I would do. Send them the video.
That's excellent. Well, knowing that somebody as busy as you can start the business and then just taking the opportunities of meeting people that you do and naturally and just kind of adding it in. Very nice.
And Diana, I would say one more thing on that. What was very, very important is I did listen, like if I'm driving or at night, anytime I was listening. Of course, Thursday night, always Alan Noble, I would always listen to him. And then Friday night, the CFI, bring people to that. But what I did was always, always, always knowledge in, knowledge on, knowledge in, knowledge out. And so share the knowledge. So that built up my knowledge, built up my confidence. Renew 28, that right there opened the doors. I give people that experience with the Renew 28. So to me, that's a key factor. And then I sent the tool, but I set up a 3-way call. And I know y'all are going to find this funny, but I had so many 3-way calls with Leland, with my upline. Leland was having to schedule his bathroom breaks because it was back to back to back 3-way calls. And those people were coming in. That's when I went from a director 700. 30 days later, I hit the bronze executive level. Kept doing the same thing my team was duplicating. And that's the key. You get your team to do the same thing because it's not what I do, it's what my team does. So they began to do the same thing. And 30 days after hitting the bronze executive level, I hit the silver executive level. Kept doing the same thing. And guess what? 20 days after that is when I hit the gold executive level. Exciting, exciting, because you're in momentum. If you already know you're seeing your numbers and your dashboard, my dashboard, honestly, I see a virtual office, I'd look at it and I thought, what is going on here? I said, Leland, I don't know what's going on. He said, Nelda, keep your head down. You're ranking up, keep going. So it didn't matter what was going on up here. I didn't keep up with the numbers. I'd get up in my driveway. I'd drive up in about 7 o'clock at night. I would get a call. Congratulations, you're the top leader in enrollments. And I thought, how did that happen? None of that mattered. I was sharing, and those things are going to happen. So that's the excitement. That's when you're in momentum. Keep going. I mean, you know what? Put your foot on the gas and just go.
That's so cool. Well, I also love you're such a dynamic person that if you could just share the story about when you were driving somewhere to do a presentation and you stopped for directions and spoke with a police officer.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, it's just one of those stories. I still laugh at myself. So, well, I'll tell you how that started. So I was having lunch. There was a gentleman there, and this guy was like into the books. Here's a Dr. Philippe. I mean, he was just studying. And I was like, okay. So I just went up there and said, so what are you studying? He said, well, I'm a teacher and this is geography. Da, 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 da. I was like, oh, okay. So we sat and talked. And then we started visiting, and I told him what I did. And after I listened to him, I was interested. And he told me, he said, yeah, I'm a teacher and it's my day off and da, 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 da. And so I said, you know what? I said, this is what I do. Do you mind if I show you how this product works? And he said, sure, show me. I showed it to him. And he said, well, I'm really not interested. I said, well, that's okay. It may not be for you. I said, but can you think of anyone that, comes to mind? And he said, yeah, I can think of 3 couples. Well, the guy gets up, goes to his vehicle, gets a number, gives it to me, gives me some numbers. I was like, okay, I'll take the numbers. Well, I went ahead and went to this town, and it was about an hour from here. So I take off. I live in Lubbock, and I had to drive. And I thought, okay, I know where this address is, but I thought my GPS, I thought it's telling me this street, but I'm not sure. And I'm not the kind that likes to waste time and drive around. So I thought, okay, well, I thought I need to ask for directions. And I thought, who am I going to ask? Well, there's a DPS trooper parked on the side of the road. So I thought, well, I'll just stop there. And I was cautious, I parked and made sure that he kind of saw me coming. And then I just said, you know, I'm looking for this address. I'm looking for this street. I'm not sure if I'm taking the right road. And he said, yes, it's right there. You know, I mean, thank God it was just right there. And I said, oh, by the way, you know, we started talking. I said, what powers your energy? Because we had just come out with our energy drinks. And so he said, well, you know, I don't remember what he said, what he drank, probably coffee. And so I said, well, I'll tell you what, I've got something. I said, how would you like some core strength and flexibility? And he's like, how do you do that? And I said, well, do you mind stepping out of the car? I can show you. So, oh my goodness, I can't believe I even said that. So he stepped out of the car. He said, okay. So he stepped out of the car and there he is. I'm doing the core strength flexibility test on him. Oh my gosh, it's getting hot. So anyway, so that's kind of what happened. And then we started talking. I said, do you mind if I have your number? And he gave me a cell number. Oh my gosh, DPS trooper. And then he put his name in there. I said, what is your last name? And he told me his last name. I said, oh my gosh. He said, and so where do you live? I told him the street. And he said, wait a minute. I think my parents live on that street. Oh, they're my neighbors. They're his parents. But it gets better, guys. It gets better. Okay, so that's what happened there. I showed it to him, and then I was like, I cannot believe that you were the son of, you know, my neighbors. I'm like, oh yeah, they live right next door. I was like, okay. So anyway, so I went to visit the couple that I had gotten their address. So I went to their business, and the son was working there. They have a business, and it was a son and a daughter-in-law. And then they started telling me about this guy. They said, oh no, he used to be a teacher here, the guy that led me to go there to that couple. But anyway, long story short, but he said, but I showed them the core strength flexibility there in their office and several people, and they're like, oh, that's pretty good stuff. But you're looking for my mom, so just go down the road right there. And so I went to the house, knocked on the door. And so I said, I'm so-and-so, you know, mentioned the guy, this teacher that gave me their name. I said, do you mind if I come in and, you know, show you what I've got? No, I did. So I did that. So I showed them the core strength flexibility, and then I just pulled the trigger. I say that because I went ahead and did a 3-way call with Leland. You know, after we talked, I just put him on speakerphone. I said, Leland, you know, I've got this couple, you know, I've got these issues. And so they came in as associates with a total pack. Exciting. Oh my goodness. Amazing. And they're one of the best associates that I have because they love the product, but they're such good people. But see, if I hadn't talked to that guy, if I had not been interested in that book that he was studying, because I mean, he was into that book, and I was like, okay, what's keeping you so, you know, interested in that? That piqued my interest. I was interested in him, led me. He wasn't interested, but led me to that couple. And it's just been amazing. A great relationship with this lady, but I love that story. But yes, the DPS trooper is my neighbor's son. So that's what happened there. That's a lot of
awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
You just always crack me up because you just got it together so well. Now, but as good as you are, I also know that you're always working on your skills, and you're currently pushing through some mindset challenges. Like we all do that. Like network marketing is a skill, and we all need to learn it. Just as you're saying, is just learning what's the best practices so that you can get started with what is known to work. Now, do you mind sharing like a mindset challenge that you've come up across and how you approached it?
Well, I have a quick question for you. I know I've shared one with you, and if you can just kind of like, if it's that one you want me to share, just kind of give me a little about it, because a little tip.
Social media? If you want to share, you don't have to.
Okay, hold on just a second. Okay, well, the main thing there was, yes, social media. Honestly, I'm not, you know, I love technology, love it. But, you know, honestly, I just feel like I have to be perfect to do everything. Who doesn't want to be perfect? It's like, I don't want to put myself out there because I want it to look like this. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. So I know what you're talking about. So this is what I was doing. I was at home the day that, I don't even know what it was. Oh yeah, I was just doing some stuff here at the house and then working on my SIA business. And then I was waiting. I could not wait for my radiance to come in. So, you know, I'm waiting. Then I get a text on the phone and it says, hey, your shipment has been rerouted. And I thought, what? reroute it. How can you reroute it? Because it's the wrong address. I'm like, hey, this is the same address. It hasn't changed. So I started going down that rabbit hole. Like, wait a minute, I need to find out from UPS or United States Postal System where my package is. And then somebody said, it's a scam. Don't do that. See, that was a rabbit hole. And so I was going down that route. But then I thought, you know what? I'm here at the house. There's several things I have to get done. For one thing, I just want to maybe cook some meals, get that done. And I thought, well, my husband's at work. I think I'll pull the vacuum out. And I'm just going to vacuum my little, laundry area. I was going to do that, pull the vacuum out. And so then I'm thinking I'm going to cook. So I've got that going. And then the doorbell rang. And I thought, oh my gosh, I went to the door. And it was my package from ASEA. I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, Cell Performance is here. So I just grabbed it. I had some bacon going over here and I thought, I just got to do a video. I got to do a video. Oh my gosh. You guys, if my husband would have walked
I'm
in.
glad you could sit part of the house.
Oh my God. I could still see my vacuum over here. I was about to do the video and I got everything ready, got my glass ready, got my water ready. I just opened up that radiance and I turned the camera on and I thought, I can hear my bacon. The bacon that's kind of sizzling in the background. And I thought, that's not really what I want the background of my video to have.
Bacon.
So like stop, turned off the bacon, get it off the burner. And then that's how I did that video. But it was wonderful because it was exciting. I just grabbed the glass, poured the water in there, and then I just poured the radiance in there. And because I didn't have a spoon, Diana's like, I'm happy that you did that. I really like the way that you just kind of took the little packet and mixed it and stirred it. I said, Diana, that was not intentional. That was because I didn't grab a spoon and the video was going and I wasn't about to go get so you just go with it. So that's what I've learned. You know what? It's great to plan. I'm a planner. I'm organized. I'm structured, but you know what? Just go with it. Just go with it and just see what happens. Because if you guys would see all that, if my husband would have walked in, he probably would have thought, what has happened to my wife today? But I got things done. I got the vacuuming done. I got the cooking done. I got the video done. And it was one of the best videos I've ever done. But social media, I was like hindered because I wanted to be perfect, because I see other people. What are they going to think? What's Diana going to think? What's Dr. Philippe going to think? It does not matter. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Just do it.
You took your excitement, you shared it on the video, and you shared it out there. It was an awesome video. It was fun. And you just had so much excitement and it showed. And it was the thing that got you launched and just saying, just get it out there. This is good. And that it just going and just trying it.
Well, that opened the door, because once you do that, then it's like everything else. But this is what I think I told you. So what happens is this, I was laughing. I thought, oh my goodness, can you believe that? What happens is this, we create a boulder. When we have an issue, we allow it. The mindset, if you got a little bitty tiny pebble, you're allowing that pebble to get like a boulder to keep you from moving forward. I said, Diana, you know what I did? It was like, there was no boulder that I created. I created the boulder in my mind. It was never there. I said, it was just like moving saran wrap from in front of my face. And that's kind of embarrassing, but that's really what happens. We do that to ourselves. What is keeping each one of us from moving forward? We are so dynamic. Who is keeping you from doing that? It's the 6 inches of real estate, and it's the truth. I mean, we can go, oh, I'm so mad. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting up every day and nobody wants this. You know what? So what? Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Because you just haven't met that right person. You haven't met the Nelda. You haven't met the Diana. You haven't met the Dr. Philippe. You haven't met Cynthia. You haven't met Jen. You don't know. You don't know. So just keep going, because I'm telling you, there's been times I'm like, oh my goodness, why am I doing this? Do you really want to do it? Guess what? That's something else coming in, and you need to get rid of it, erase it, start over, clean slate. I'm sitting at a baseball game with my family. It's amazing. I'm just enjoying it. But here I am not doing any videos because, I'm just like, I'm telling you, I want to be perfect. That can be a stepping stone. That's a roadblock. That's a roadblock. Be you, be yourself. So I was sitting there and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to share this game. I'm watching a great game with my family. I just went into Facebook. I clicked story, add story, added a picture, and that was probably my very first post ever. Well, guess what? That opened the door to social media. And then you just get better and better and better. But we don't get better if we don't take action. So don't be afraid. That's what's keeping us from moving forward. Every one of us. I see it in me, and I still have to get myself out of the way to move forward.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for all the shares. I just wanted to open the floor to a couple for the group, if there was any questions for you. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Well, I would say if you don't have any, I think there's someone. Yes, there's a gentleman. Go ahead. I see
Was there anything else you wanted to add that I didn't cover?
Well,
Cynthia. Yeah.
I think this someone wants to ask a question.
Paul, Jean.
yes. Hi, everyone. I found all the explanation very well done and
Oh, thank you.
really great. You did come with us today for nothing.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you for
Yes,
for
that's
the-
that's a really a nice road to follow, and I will be doing it.
You can do this. You can do this. Believe in yourself. And that's what I would say. Leland, you know, I know he believes in me. And when someone believes in you, you can do anything that you want to do. And that's what has happened to me. That's what I would say. That's been amazing. But I was going to say the other thing is this. If you're not reading books, leaders are readers. That's really the truth. Get in there. If it's audibles that you prefer, do audibles. If you want to read it, you can read it. If you want to do audibles, do audibles.
Absolutely.
Yes. And then avoid drama, avoid people that are negative. Surround yourself with positive people, because you do become like the people that you surround yourself with. Those are key things, and it does happen. It may be part of your team. So when you start going there with a team member, you know, bring it back to positivity. So that's what I would say. So think about that. Those are crucial things, is what I would say, Diana.
Excellent.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you so much, Nelda, and for your great comments, Jean. Cynthia.
Hi, Nelda. I've been on so many morning calls with you, and I just want to say that it's a funny thing, I've never heard these stories, and they're fun and enjoyable, and I'd sure love to ask you to do them in the morning sometime, because I think the group would love them. I love them. Thank you.
I guess, I'm on the 7:30 call, and I tell people, I know we have the 9:30 call, and I do that mainly because, to me, that's just Dr. Maury Hayes asked me to do that. And it's very humbling, and I appreciate that. So I do the 9:30, but the 7:30 to me is the meat and potatoes. And, I've shared a little bit of that, but I'm able to share here more because it's more of a relaxed atmosphere. And there's so many more on the morning call. And then the 9:30, I don't know if you may not have heard. So I really thought most people had heard those stories. So I would just give Diana a little bit extra, just because, she's a great friend and just amazing. I mean, has got great leadership skills like Dr. Philippe. You guys have got some great leaders. I mean, I can't tell you how fabulous that is. I love, Diana and I, we're pretty much like best friends, but we don't spend a lot of time on the phone because she's building her business, I'm building mine. And I think that's very important. I mean, we just got to just keep it short, keep it quick. And I think that's what's important. We don't waste time. She's very organized. I'm very organized. So like-minded people. So thank you, Cynthia, for those words, of encouragement and kindness. I appreciate that. And I don't mind sharing, if people would like to hear that, I don't mind if it helps someone to move forward. But the main thing is this, take yourself seriously, enjoy the journey. Before, at the beginning, I feel like I really wasn't. It just felt like it was difficult, but I made it difficult. So when it becomes a part of you and you love what you do, and when the product does what it has done for me, you know what? I have an obligation, a moral and ethical obligation to share it. So find that, and if it's not your story, then you can use somebody else's story because they're out there.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, and for your kind words.
Can
Cynthia?
I just add that? I just wanted to add that it's a great network marketing story because it's all about networking and you never know who knows who. So that's what was so exciting about your story. Thank you.
That's really true because, you know, I've changed the lives of this couple, especially the lady, but that would have never happened had I not been interested in that one person. And so that's what I'm saying. It wasn't for him, but he thought enough of this couple. They really needed it. And I drove to see them. And that's when I met, you know, that trooper. So, yeah, I have a lot of stories like that. Honestly, I almost want to write a journal about those because it cracks me up of how I meet people and what I say. But you can do the same thing. I mean, wherever you are, it may be your neighbor. I went on a walk. I'm going to say 3 years ago. I got up and I was going for a walk in the morning. And so I saw one of my neighbors outside, just waved at her. When I came back, I showed her the Renew 28. And she said, well, you know what? Send me some information on this. Send her some information, sent her the enrollment packages. And she said, come back by in the morning. Well, I went ahead, and when I went by walking in the morning in the neighborhood, I dropped off the enrollment packages. And so when I came back, I thought, oh no, her daughter's there. And I thought her daughter's probably going to say, you know, mom doesn't need this, we're not interested. And so the mom said, I want you to show this to my daughter. I showed it to the daughter, did the course drink test. They both came in. At that time, we had the entrepreneur product suite packages. Amazing. So I'm just saying, on a morning walk, that happened. But I have to be prepared. If I did not have that Renew 28 with me, which I did, of course, it was in my body, took it with me. I was going to use it. I use it, you know, when I'm on my walk, and then shared it with them. That would have never brought in two associates with, it was two associates with entrepreneur product suite packages. So, I mean, I know that each one of you can do that, but sometimes we miss those people that are next to us, and we're too busy with what's going on in here. We're worried about, you know, got to go get this, this, and this. I'll tell you another story because these are wonderful stories. I went to the grocery store. I'm just in there to get some vegetables. And then I see some flowers, and I thought, those are just beautiful flowers, but they were edible flowers. I could already envision those on my salad. And so I just said, oh my goodness, look at these flowers. And this lady said, are you gonna buy those? Are you gonna try those? I said, yes, I can already envision them on my salad. And she said, are you medical? And I said, yes, I'm a registered nurse. She said, I'm a physician. And so we started talking. And then she said, okay, I told her a little bit more about redox, and we talked. And then she said, okay, I need to know, but I'm really, really busy right now. So come to my house Saturday afternoon at 2:00 and we'll talk. So she became an associate. Yeah.
Wow, that's very cool. Well, I need to wrap up here soon, and for the respect of everyone's time, thank you so much, Nelda, for all your shares. And it's just inspiring for me as well. Good reminder on a bunch of areas that I need to do better on. And thank you everyone for joining. And yeah, that's all I have.
I would like to thank you, Nelda, and warn everyone in the team, you are dangerous. You know that? You are
Armed and dangerous with my Renew 28.
Because when you start a tale, it's going to be tale on tale on tale over 2001 nights. Okay. And that is a very cordial compliment I give you here, right here.
Thank you.
You're very
Thanks,
welcome.
everyone.
It's a pleasure. It's an honor to have you with us. You are welcome here anytime. And you can bring anyone you think would benefit for our little humble contribution here. So the door is open to everyone you want.
Thank you.
And
Well, thank you,
it
everyone.
was very things. Gloria, I would like to know your your comments about the sharing, Nelda sharing today. Good evening, Gloria. Good to see you there. We cannot hear you. Can you hear me well? Here we go. So Gloria is in London, UK, and we cannot hear you, Gloria. Here we go. You're coming. Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh,
Thank
thank you
you.
everyone for having me. Thank you, Nadia, for your brilliant presentation. I've really, really enjoyed it, and I've taken some nuggets. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank
Gloria,
you.
could you ask a question particularly to your to the nature of your challenge, which we know very well? What would be your question to Nelda? Because Nelda has met the challenges you have been struggling with so far.
Yes, what she said regarding the fact that you don't have to give up because you never know who will become like Doctor, like you, who will become like Diana, who will become like Jane, who will become like Philip, who will become anybody. So you just have to keep on going, because I've realized that some of my associates, initially they were on subscription, and now some of them said they don't have the funds and all that. So it's kind of, sometimes it makes you feel low. However, with what she said, it doesn't matter. I just have to tell everyone all the examples, the tips that she gave, wherever you are, you don't know the next person next to you. You never know, maybe that person could be your associate. So you just have to tell everybody. You don't have to block your mind and say to yourself, oh, I can do this, I can do that. And the social media thing that I really love, you don't have to say that you want to be perfect before you could do it. So you just have to give it a go. I've really enjoyed her presentation. Thank you so much. Yeah.
And on the top of that, thank you, Gloria, very much. On the top of that, remind them they are not alone. Nobody is alone here. We are not alone. We may feel alone, but we are not alone. This is very important. And it's important to share the problems as well as sharing the wins, as we say.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Philip, for all the incredible support. Really appreciate. Thank you so much. And Diana and Jane and everybody. Thank you.
And Gloria, you're the best of the best as well. We know that. You have proven it.
Oh, wow.
You know, Nelda, I went to London to be a guest of Gloria and Gloria's team. And could you summarize what happened to Nelda? Because next time she doesn't know it yet, but she's going to be with us.
Sorry, what happened
in London? Remember your event in London?
Oh yes.
Can you make a little summary of it for Nelda and all of us, please?
Oh,
5 minutes at most.
okay. I think it was really, really successful. However, there was a bit of technical issues, and eventually we had people who attended, and we did demonstration, which really, really, Doctor did it, and so many participants, it's empowered them to try the product. So it was really good. We are looking forward to hosting another one soon with Dr. and Dinah's support.
Very good.
Thank you.
Dr. Philippe, I think that's awesome. I would say that's amazing, Gloria.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really amazing that you're doing that. I remember when I committed, so I told you guys I was director 700. I was coming out of a grocery store. This lady was coming in, and I just said, I think I saw you at the, the natural health store. And she said, yes. So basically she said, I'm going on a cruise. Let's talk. So when she came back, they came to a workshop. And so 30 minutes after they left from the workshop, they called and they said, where do we sign up? They were ready. So they signed up. because they came to the workshop. So I invited to an event. They hadn't even watched the video. So they both signed up as associates. And then, hold on just one second. So then when they started on the product and they started seeing these great things. So she cleans homes and she's a fun, fabulous lady. So she said, I was climbing up on a ladder, and after I started drinking my Redox, then she said, I had my grandson on the back and she was just climbing. I said, do not be doing that. She was showing the strength that she had, and she was in a lot of discomfort before, but she was doing fabulous. But then she said, okay, now we're doing so wonderful. She said, whatever I do, my family does. She said, can you come and show my family this product? And I said, yes. And then I said, where does your family live? Well, it's in Hereford, Texas, 2 hours away from where I live. I did not know how to even start to do a Redox workshop, and I committed. I said, okay, I'll be there. I thought, see, do it scared, just do it, just push it. So that's what I did. So then, because I was on the morning call, I knew a couple of people, and I had been saying, hey, I want to have workshops. I want to start building this area. And then there was 2 people on there. And so I reached out to them, and this is exactly what I said. Houston, I got a problem. I have a workshop. I scheduled a workshop. I don't know what to do. They said, well, come do it. So I go, we drive. I drove with a couple, drove 2 hours. We went to Hereford. It was a library. We were set it all up, 30 people in the room, all over. I mean, all over. So we had virtual. We had Leland. We had Dr. Dalton. We had Dr. Maureen Hayes. They were coming in and out because in Texas, there's a lot of sandstorms. We had a metal roof. The connection, we were coming in and out. So we were having, it was probably, I wish we'd have taken pictures. We had cords all over, but we kept it going. When they would come back on, everything went well, really, despite everything that was happening. Everybody in the room was happy. They loved all the knowledge, everything we shared. And then after that, my 2 friends left. After the virtual presentation, they had done their job. Well, then my associate said, okay, all those people, they want to try the product. And I was like, okay, well, I knew what to do, but if you're 1 person or 2 people and you've got 30 people that want to start on the product, thank God I talk about preparation. I had prepared 30 clipboards with your preferred, your associate application, Renew 28, what it can do, things like that. Why you need glutathione. So I said, Martin, pass all these out to all these people, passed out the clipboards. I said, get them to start filling out the information. And that's what they did. And then I went one-on-one to each table and got their orders. Well, guess what? That was my very first workshop. But then they said, we want to have another one. And they had another one, and they had the same amount of people. So you're going to find those people. And those people are still growing the business. That's who took me to Director 700. And they may be the ones that take me to Platinum and Diamond, Dr. Philippe. We're on the roll. We're going. But what I'm saying is, do it scared. Those workshops are important. Events are important. Get to the next event. I don't know where you guys are. I know that, yes, everybody's different. Yes, I can afford it. Maybe not. But if you can get to convention, be in that room. If you can't, get a virtual ticket. It's so important, because had I not gone to my first event, to me, it changes the trajectory of your business. Because I was in Lubbock, we had a meeting. There might have been, 75 people were there. But when I would go to regional, the regional had about 200 there. Then when you go to convention, I don't really know what those numbers are. I don't know if it's 2,000. I don't know if it's 1,000, but it makes a difference, and you build those relationships, but you learn so much. And you know what? I know that you tell somebody, you might say, oh, well, you can tell me what happened at the convention. Guess what? I really can't. There's just so much. You're going to be 6 months behind if you don't attend convention, at least 6 months. I think it's more, but if you can get together with people and say, hey, let's 4 of us room together. How can we make it? You can do this. If you want it bad enough, if you're hungry, willing, and coachable, get to the next event, and your business will change the trajectory of your business. It can happen, but it takes action. It takes commitment, and you've got what it takes.
Thank you so much, Nelda. This is gold. I would say diamond nuggets, not gold. We are beyond gold here. This is beautiful. And Gloria will have to prepare for your people and everybody you know in your circle, whether in UK or else, to attend remotely that convention coming in Dallas, Fort Worth, in exactly 3 weeks from now. So we prepare for that. We'll talk about that. We'll get the details in order for you.
All
And
right.
everything is possible. You know, we are global. This is global. We talk to people on the other side of the planet every single day. It is so amazing. And you know, I am a doc. As a doc, I have been spending my life over 40 years in a clinic. And I can tell you that in a clinic, I can only see up to 16 patients a day, the best days. And Nelda will understand that. Well, every day now, I can talk to hundreds. Ripple, you know, like a domino ripples effect, like a cascade of ripples from all of us, over all of us, from above, from below. It is amazing. And we are all the same. It's amazing. It's a strange but beautiful chemistry here. The team is the way we live as individual and the way we progress, and we get the best we can do for each of us, and we help each other. This is a chance. It's a pleasure to see people around us growing and getting more beautiful and more skilled. And when you know that they think alike towards yourself, seeing yourself growing and getting more beautiful and more skilled as well, it's better than family. You know, remember, we don't choose our family, but we choose our friends. And that is also, we choose the people we want to work with and grow. Even though we are not on the same line, who cares? We belong to the same family, ASEA. You know, this is a vessel. It's like being a crew on a vessel. And you look on the front, you see the white, you know, the blue sea turning white on the prow, and then you look in the back on the aft, and you will see that beautiful white, you know, snow-like wake over the deep blue sea. Well, I'm not a Navy for nothing. Okay, you heard me.
Dr. Philippe, I would say one thing. You know, 80% of the people that we talk to, 80% will come in as product users. So don't try to convince people. There's no convincing. You don't have to convince. So don't convince people to say, oh, I need an associate and you need to come in like that. No, allow them to come in and respect them to come in where they want to, because what will happen is your preferred customers, you respect them, you're keeping it simple, they're watching you, and then they're going to love the product. Let them decide, you know, let them watch you, and they're going to say, Diana, I want to know what you're doing because I want to follow you. I want you to be my leader, Dr. Philippe. So allow that. And I was going to say, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. You know, do not depend on someone else. This is your business. You are the manager. You're the CEO. You decide where you're taking this business, but it's not anybody else's responsibility but ours to build it. Yes, we're not doing it alone, but don't feel like, you know, you can't blame someone else for, it's our responsibility for our success. If I don't invest in myself, it is my responsibility. It is my issue. And so remember that, think about it. You know, it's not my sponsor. You know, if that's not working, reach up line to the people that are pouring into you positively. So think about that. But remember, take action, and you can do anything you put your mind to. Get that boulder out of the way today. Make your list of people that you already know you haven't reached out to. Do your follow-ups. Make a difference. You can do this, guys. I just want to encourage you because, you know, sometimes it seems like it's discouraging, but it's only what we're telling our mind. That subconscious mind, see it. See that you're a platinum. See that you're a diamond. But we have to go through the certain levels to get there. Go through the steps, but keep doing the same thing over and over. If you've gotten a Director 700, you keep doing the same thing over and over, you will get to bronze. Keep doing the same thing and get your team to do the same thing. If you don't remember anything else about this Zoom today, duplication. It's not what you do, it's what you teach your team to do, and support them and believe in your team. Pour positive things into your team and be there for them. Show them how it's done. And we need to be the leader that we expect our team members to be. When they see that in you, they're going to want to follow you.
We are all leaders.
What a great
Absolutely.
wrap up.
Absolutely.
Now, in the interest of time, we do need to wrap up. So thank you everyone so much for coming. And thank you so much, Nelda. So many great tips. This is great.
You're welcome.
so much. Have
Thank
a
you.
nice
Bye, everybody.
God bless.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next
you.
week.
Bye,
God bless.
everyone.
Thank you, Diana.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr.
Bye.
Philippe. I appreciate you guys.
Very
Bye.
good.
Have a good weekend.